What it do, peeps? Next on Watch the Damn Tape. Now that 6 of the 7 head coaching jobs have been filled in the NFL, we're going to go over their opening press conferences and I'm going to give you my thoughts on them. Welcome to Watch the Damn Tape. Hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. Hit that bell to get notified when I drop my next video. Let's get into these new hires, their press conferences. I got them ranked like this. I got them ranked: Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Pete Carroll, Liam Cohen, and Brian Schottenhiemer. In just on the quality of the hire and how I think they're going to succeed. But I'll start with Vrabel. Vrabel was real emotional. You could tell he was very happy to be in New England. Short introduction by Robert Kraft. You can tell Robert Kraft really wants Vrabel to be the next Belichick, and I think he's going to give him all the ammo. Defensive coordinator, head coach of the Titans. He's been coaching for a good amount of time. Been in that organization, won 3 Super Bowls, knows winning culture. So he's going to bring that immediately to New England. And he was wanted by the damn owner. That matters. It wasn't just, oh God, we're in a panic, let's just pick somebody. That's probably what the Saints are going to do. But Vrabel was welcomed and he wanted to be there. And you can see it. And but as far as his biggest obstacle, to me, his biggest obstacles are that he has Josh Allen and Tua in his division. And he's got a young quarterback. And how fast can he develop Drake May? If he can develop Drake May and they can compete with Buffalo and Miami, they'll be in good shape. But those are his biggest obstacles. Quarterback. Because he can coach defense. And I know he's going to bring in an OC. I think he's got Josh Daniels coming in. Josh Daniels' offense has always been well under Tom Brady. I have no doubt that he should be able to turn Drake May around. If not, they'll have problems. But like I said, he's got Kraft. And Robert Kraft's going to give him all the time in the world. Ben Johnson. Oh, and Vrabel's 49, by the way. Not too old for a coach. Ben Johnson, 38 years old. The general manager gave a real quick introduction for Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson stood up at that podium and he basically, if you're a Bears fan, you should be excited about Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson basically said, hey, look, Caleb Williams, I like what we got. I want to rip this offense down to the studs, build the offense around Caleb Williams, and then the supporting pieces. Ben Johnson, I liked his attention to detail, and you can tell he was focused. You can tell he was focused on his job before he even got it. Like, he knew what he wanted. He's been sitting at watching those Bears and watching the league, and he probably saw, you know what, this is the best opportunity for me. I'm gonna take it, but I know what I'm gonna do with those guys when I get over there. And you can tell in his press conference, the dude's been on offense. He's been, quality control. He's been an OC, tight ends coach, quarterbacks coach. So on offense, that dude's got it. And he sat there behind Dan Campbell and watched. And he's going to raid Dan Campbell and a bunch of other coaches that he's been watching around the league to build a great staff. The biggest hurdle for me, for Ben Johnson and the Bears, is the Green Bay Packers. Because their coach ain't going nowhere, their quarterback ain't going nowhere, and their quarterback's a rising star. I see Detroit taking a step back next year with the amount of coaches that Detroit's lost and the play caller. And is there anybody on Detroit staff that can bring them back together and have that offense clicking like it was this past year with Ben Johnson? That's yet to remain to be seen. But I think that's the biggest hurdle. for the Bears. It's going to be Green Bay. It's not going to be the Vikings. Vikings, they don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. We saw what happened in the playoffs with Sam Darnold. J.J. McCarthy is a question mark. You know what you got in Caleb Williams. And you know if you get a play caller around him and build an offense, you know what you can have. You got a nice receiver. You got a good tight end. You got a decent running back. And you got some decent players on defense. You just need a couple more pieces. You need some O-line help. And that'll help out. That'll help out Caleb Williams immensely and get the Bears right back where they want to be. Next, Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn, also brief introduction by Woody Johnson. Stood at the podium. Very fiery. All the coaches talked about family, so all of them, thankful about their past and where they played or who they coached with or who brought them up and their influence and stuff. So that was cool. The normal speech you hear from a coach. Aaron Glenn, he coaches like he played. He's short and he got a short man complex. Very, very fiery. Very. He ain't gonna cut the mustard. If you screwing up, he gonna let you have it. Little dude gonna let you have it. Love that. Especially in this day and age of entitled athletes, having a coach that holds you accountable and that'll check you, it's an art. It's an art that's missing, especially in society today. But yeah, Aaron Glenn, he's got to get a quarterback. The Aaron Rodgers thing, and he's got Woody Johnson. Those two things are the two top things, and then he still has to contend with Josh Allen and Tua. But his owners got to give him time to get his program together, because it's always a struggle to me in this league with a defensive-minded coach getting a job and then getting a quarterback. If he gets a young quarterback, Aaron Glenn's got to get an OC that he really believes in and is going to be there for the long haul, because you don't want to have an OC every other year and you got a Trevor Lawrence on your hand. You got an immense talent and he's getting a different coach and a different voice in his head every other year. So Woody Johnson's going to have to give Aaron Glenn time. Aaron Glenn's going to have to make the greatest call on the offensive coordinator, and they got to decide quick what they're going to do with Aaron Rodgers. Because even if they go with Aaron Rodgers next year, you still got to get a quarterback in waiting, because Aaron Rodgers ain't no spring chicken. But that's what I see with Aaron Glenn. He middle of the road with him as far as the amount of success he can have. It just depends on his offensive system and what he does with Aaron Rodgers. Next, Pete Carroll. And Aaron Glenn was 51. Aaron Glenn's 52. Pete Carroll, 73, will be the oldest head coach in NFL history when he hits the field in September. He'll be 74. Press conference, stood up, got introduced. Him and the general manager, they got a new general manager as well. Stoic, almost like a United States senator. He looked official. Been there, done that at every level. Won at the college level. We know he won the Super Bowl with Seattle. Went to another Super Bowl, lost. Unfazed. You're not going to faze Pete Carroll with a question from the media. So it was really just let me get to know you, you get to know me type deal. Once again, he talked about family, his wife, because he's been coaching forever. So they're all used to it. And he got great grandkids and grandkids now. So man, 73. The biggest obstacle for him is you got Patrick Mahomes in your division. Period. Second, you don't have a quarterback. Third, Jim Harbaugh has got a QB. Did some good things with Herbert this year. You got to contend with him too. And 73, you're old. that you owe for a coach. And that's why they probably gave him a 3-year deal, because they want to hit a little window and see if they can hit lightning in a bottle and get it done. But Pete Pete got a lot. He got a lot to deal with the Raiders. They like the bad news Bears. A lot of talent. They got a hell of a tight end. Oh, they got a killer tight end. Got some pieces. Got Max Crosby. Don't know if you can keep Max Crosby. But yeah, he got a lot of work to do. And you in that AFC West. So, and I mean, the saving grace is you got Tom Brady in management now, or ownership with the team, and hopefully he can get that Mark Davis at bay and let Pete bring in the right people. Because Pete can, one thing about Pete Carroll can build a staff that can coach. Always done it. Always done. I'll be looking forward to see who he puts on his staff. The next guy, Liam Cohen, 39 years old. Short introduction from Shad Khan. He stood at the podium as well. And the reason why I keep saying that they stood at the podium. You'll get to it in a second. His press conference was interesting because he was super overjoyed. You know, talked about his family, his sons, his wife, you know, mom, you know, his dad, so on and so forth. You know, he was the Rams offensive coordinator for a spell. He was assistant wide receiver coach, quarterbacks coach. Had a great system, had a great year in Tampa Bay, did a lot of good things with Baker Mayfield. Should be able to do a lot of good things with Trevor Lawrence. The questions I have with him, your owner is quick to get rid of folks. Your owner is, but he don't have no. It's like Jerry Jones. He don't have no respect for coaching, but he got a quick trigger finger. That dude like, oop, Urban Meyer, you gone. Oop, you gone. The Peach, you gone. You gone. I mean, it's like his middle name is you gone. I don't like what you're doing. You gone. You gone. Liam Cohen, out of all the coaches that got hired, he has the easiest chance and the easiest path to get to the playoffs. You're in the AFC South. You got one quarterback to deal with. You got C.J. Stroud. And it depends on which C.J. Stroud you get. You're going to get first year C.J. Stroud or second year. If you can get Trevor Lawrence together and get them together quick and play some D, you can beat the Titans. You can beat the Colts. You just have to contend with the Texans. Can you get Trevor Lawrence back to where he looked when he left Clemson? That is the number one thing on your list. You must get Trevor Lawrence back to looking like the first overall pick in the draft. If Liam Cohen can do that, he'll win over Jacksonville Jaguar fans. If he can get to the playoffs next year, he balled himself some time. That's it. They should be contending for a playoff spot next year. If he is who he thinks he is, because he looked like a kid in a candy store. It was funny. It was funny. He looked like a kid in a candy store. But if he can do that, got it made. Last but not least, Brian Schottenheimer. Now, I've been saying all the guys stood at the podium. And to me, that's big. Brian Schottenheimer was the only coach that sat the entire time, flanked by Steven and Jerry Jones. He's the only one that looked like he was the last person in the bar picked. The last chick. Please take me home. Please take me home. He looked like her. He looked out of place, and he looked in over his head. He got a lot of problems. Out of any of the coaches, he got clearly the most problems. He's got a salary cap problem. He got a quarterback problem. Quarterback, the highest paid quarterback, and he ain't good. In your own division, Dak Prescott is the third best quarterback in the division behind Hurts and Daniels. The Giants are probably going to draft a quarterback. When the Giants draft their quarterback, Dak's going to fall to fourth automatically. That's just my opinion. Beat me up in the comments, but Dak ain't that cold to me. Your other biggest obstacle, besides even before you even coach your first game, you got to deal with Jerry Jones and his knucklehead son with the air quotes. I think Dak is one of the better quarterbacks, and dude was just selling Kool-Aid, selling Kool-Aid at this press conference. Brian Schottenhiemer was asked by a guy from ESPN, Todd Archer. He was asking him, what makes you ready for this coaching job? And the answer he gave did not ooze confidence. It oozed the dude that wasn't ready then and probably shouldn't be the head coach now. But he's the best fit if you want somebody that's going to lick your boots and do everything you want and be a company guy, because they were flanked on either side of them. And even Jerry Jones said he was a risk. That ain't real comforting to hear your owner say, man, this is the biggest risk right here. That ain't a comforting statement. He's got a lot to deal with. That dude's got a lot. And they ain't going to have an easy schedule next year. And fans are going to be, they'll buy the Kool-Aid. That's one thing about Dallas Cowboy fans. They buy Kool-Aid quick. Buy it early. 5th game, 6th game, October starts. And if you're 2-5, 2-6 going into October, they gonna turn quick, and them stands are gonna get empty, and Jerry gonna look tight on TV. His face already looking terrible. Brian Schottenheimer is by far the worst head coach candidate, and he might be tied for last with New Orleans when it's all said and done. But I can't wait to see who New Orleans hires. But yeah, right now Brian Schottenheimer got the last place spot locked up. Let me know what your rankings are. Put your rankings in the comments below. Let me know what you came up with. I would love to know, especially I love hearing from other fan bases, because get these other perspectives, because Cowboy fans, boy, they hit me up in the comments and send me messages all the time. It's amazing what Cowboy fans think. But let me know your thoughts. Leave them below. Appreciate you watching. Until next time, folks. Peace.